Mike. Hey, everybody. Just quick chill session. One of my Discord members and growing someone who I consider to be a friend and currently runs the Titans Revival campaign on Tuesday afternoons is so kind to teach this old man how to use this cool new thing called Spire. And he goes by the handle Enigma on our Discord server. So, everything you need to know about us is down below somewhere down there in the world of the abouts. Pop on over, pop on in. We do chill sessions on a pretty regular basis. Our chill sessions are learn sessions, and we do this to teach and learn ourselves. So I am the learner today. Enigma is going to be the teacher. Enigma, summarize Tailspire for us.
Tailspire is a 3D online model map builder that you can build multi-layered battle maps and or visuals for your players in a D&D game online, or just for any tabletop game in general.
Well, and I think that's the key here too, is if you're running Pathfinder, Starfinder, and we're beta still, right? They're still technically beta.
It's early access.
Or early access. And I believe you have to have a Steam account to get this. Get it through your Steam. I think it's $24.95 or something like that. The other thing is, if I'm checking something here really quick, I do believe there's two ways to utilize it. One is if you just want to be the storyteller who's using it and you move the pieces for the individual players, then it's only a $24.95 hit. However, if you want your players to be able to move their own tokens within the board that you designed for them to interact with, I believe they each currently have to have a copy of it as well. Is that correct? I think that's correct.
Yes,
Okay.
and in doing so, they can also have full control of whatever assets you give them control over as the game master.
Gotcha. So, with that, let's go ahead and launch into this. Now, I believe we've already launched the shortcut, and this is the landed page. This is the landed main menu, I believe.
Correct.
So, what do we do from this point?
From here, what we're going to do is we're going to press begin. And I've made a tutorial campaign for everybody because
Nice.
Titans Revival is an ongoing campaign in
Correct.
TTRPG.
TTRPG Academy. Look at you.
Okay. This gives us the basic layout that we need. It immediately gives you the build screen for a new map that is blank, completely blank.
Now, is there a
Zoom out,
scale
zoom back in.
aspect to this that might be confusing?
Not really. So the only thing that I think is confusing is that, let's say you build like a battle map here, right? Right where this dot is. You can then go over here and build another one. And then up here and build another one. And then up here and build another one.
Okay.
That's the only thing that confuses me at times.
Yeah, because I noticed that when I was toying around with it when I first downloaded it, the scaling of those three items on the right, the green diamond, the white diamond, and blue diamond, seemed a little bit strange as well.
Well, the blue is water.
Right.
This is all water.
And that brings water into your world, but it perceives. So if we're designing our main board, right? If we're trying. So here's the thing. You could potentially design a very extensive delve, or you could design an encounter board where a particular encounter is resolving and you want to design that. So you could really scale it either direction, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And the three things that you were talking about. So this white one on the side, this is where you're building. like what part of the asset of the map you're building on. So normally it sits at the bottom, both of them, because the water's not spawned yet without pulling it up. And then there's this white one, and then the green one that you normally see is where pieces, which I will show you.
Yeah.
You're gonna open the library right there and start with a normal tavern block. You drop it down, and now this drops this tavern block piece, right? And this allows you to scale that tavern block anywhere between the bottom and where you have it leveled.
So that white is considered, that white diamond is considered your level, like the idea of it being a level surface.
Yes.
Gotcha. So if you drag that white one up, it makes the tile. Oh, okay, I see. Ooh, that
It
could.
builds where you want to build it.
So I'm assuming they scale that for terrain purpose.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So let's say you have a multi-layer dungeon or castle or building, right?
Okay.
So this is the first layer, right? The bottom layer.
Okay.
And then you want to build up. So wherever your assets end, you will build up to where those assets end, and now you can build the next floor.
Oh.
And the really cool thing about it is that if you just drop below where those assets are, you are no longer accessing that new floor. You're accessing the floor below and or above it.
Interesting.
So let's make a small house.
Go back. Right? I'm gonna open up mine too, so I can see.
See, and it's a easy drag and drop.
Yeah, that's what really has me intrigued on this is the drag and drop feature. That's pretty awesome.
It does simplify things. If you don't have to grab it for each individual tile, you can put multiple ones down and just drop them down.
Yeah, and then there's different types of tiles, right? So it's like these are just floor tiles, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's this tile, which is now a wall, mm-hmm. right? So now you're building a wall.
How do you? One of the things that I was trying to figure out, how do you spin the 360 viewpoint?
You use the Q and E keys to rotate the map.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Q and E for rotation.
Yep.
Gotcha.
It rotates the compass for you. So the compass is on the bottom left.
There it is. Okay, yeah, I see that now. All right, awesome.
And also, for everybody who wants to know, if you go up to the top left, you see this tutorials. It will teach you the basic overview for everything, right?
Yeah, but it's not an interactive tutorial, though.
It's not an interactive, which makes it...
I think that's kind of a problem because most of us that have grown up in the modern gaming space, we're kind of used to that plug and play interactive tutorial that kind of helps you walk through it. I'm hoping when they go live, that they have a more integrative tutorial version.
The cool thing is, if you see, like, look, I'm hovering over this tile right now. I've just picked it up, right? So now that I have control of this tile, right, I can drag it, drop it. But you could also, at the bottom of the screen, it tells you everything you can do with the tile, right? There should be a orange line at the bottom, and then it tells you all the different controls that you can do with it. For example, if I press Control, which gives you my grid,
right,
and then press the right click button, you can control where it goes on the map.
So you can make a second story?
Correct. Now I'm making a second story.
That is really cool.
Yep. What I like doing for the interactiveness is that, let's say this is a floor, I'll make the exact same dimensions of that floor and then pull it over just a bit, and now they have the second level. So I don't have to go back between these the level scale over here. So I don't have to go back between them. It makes it easier for me as the GM.
So I'm gonna follow along with you here really quick and do a 2x2. Okay, yeah. So if you don't set your level, right? Okay. So if you do that, I'm matching what you did with the white diamond thing. That is really cool. Okay, cool. Keep going. This is awesome. And how do you spin a piece, though? If you've targeted an individual piece, if you've clicked on it, do you spin it with QE?
Or do you spin the map to fit the piece?
So each piece is fit for a certain spot, right? So everything on the map is fit for a different area, right?
Okay.
If you want to rotate that, that's one button. No, I figured this out before. Nope, not that one. How did I do it before? Figured it out.
Is it the arrow buttons up at the top?
No, that is redo and undo. So there is a short menu option up there, right? There's the magnify option, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what that box does. Maybe that's grid. Then there's undo, redo, toggle grid. Then there's toggle build light and toggle water display.
Oh, that's good that it's toggle water display. I thought it was toggle macaroni. I mean, it kind of looks like macaroni.
Well, that's interesting. It seems like there should be a way, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I figured out.
Okay.
I'm just slow. So another corner piece, right?
Yep.
And you're just gonna click the middle mouse wheel.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of intuitive. Well, my mouse, click.
Just click it like it's a button.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. That is cool.
Like it's a button, it is.
Yeah, I know, right? You mean use the mouse wheel for its like multifunctional purpose that it's required?
Uh-huh. Don't forget a door.
Oh, how could I ever forget a door?
The door. The door is all knowing.
Claw.
You don't put a door, how will your sim get out?
Well,
and those for you, if you are watching us, we are doing this through our Discord, so we do have Discord members popping in. Mittens is one of our mods. Enigma is one of our storytellers, and I believe Skathos is listening in, who plays in Enigma's game for this little session.
The Friday game, right?
Tuesday,
the Titans Revival game.
Titans Revival.
Yes, my current only game on.
So there's no pieces with pre-framed doors. You actually have to manipulate the door itself, or is there?
Yes.
Interesting.
Weird.
There's no pre-framed door ones, which is its own hassle, but it makes it easier as well because there's assets for that.
Gotcha. I see. Well, it's funny. This whole setup looks very much like the 4D. Here, I'll show you. Looks like the these vid assets, these assets they're using are very similar to these, which is the 4D assets you can get in the kits. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it really is. And the real cool thing I like is that, see, now I click it, right? Now I'm going to snap to a title. Snap it to a tile, right? Now it's snapped in. So that means it can't be moved.
How'd you snap it in?
So you're going to press X, you're going to click the tile, you're going to press X, and then you're right click it.
Gotcha. So it seems like a lot of their control features are multi-control features.
Correct.
Gotcha. So you have a lot of Control Alt click this or click this and right click with this key. So if you're going to use this, you probably want to be very familiar with some of those menu features.
Correct.
Now how are you? Where'd that grid come from?
So the grid comes from I like grid view, which is pressing Control. So you're going to press Control, and with an object in your hand, you press control, and this is the leveling feature I was talking about earlier.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
You could also press G for the grid view.
So I guess one of my questions is,
So G keeps the grid view up where
Yes.
your cursor is,
Where your cursor
and
is.
control just does it while you're holding an object.
Correct.
I see
And then
how
once you
that-
let control go, it stops with the grid view.
Yes.
Okay.
If you press G again, it'll
Mhm.
just take the grid
It'll
view
go
away.
away.
I personally like the grid view on because it keeps me within
So I'm
5.
go back to the differences in height for me, because I'm obviously doing something wrong.
Okay. So again, you're gonna click an object first.
Okay.
Right? All right, and then you rotate your camera to the angle you want it.
Okay.
You're gonna hold control and move your mouse
Move it
up and
forward.
yeah, you move it forward or back for height.
With
Well-
the control button held down.
Correct.
Oh, I was clicking. I'm so old school that way. Okay, wait a minute. I still did it wrong. Hold on.
So after you put down your first tile, right?
Okay, I did.
You
I-
no
yeah,
longer
yep,
have to
I got
hold it
right.
down
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It automatically adjusts me to that build height, which is the
Yes.
indicator of the hammer off to the right hand side, or not? Does that matter? Or does that just tell you? Does that just tell you that you're in build mode?
It tells you you're in build mode.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I see how this works. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my god, I
So,
could totally
let's talk
get
about-
lost.
Now this is just a tavern, right?
Yeah.
So there's everything, right? You can
Right.
make castles, you can make ruins, you can make caverns, cobbles, desert villages, doors, dungeons, harbors, merchant,
And I
the
think
merchant
there's
stalls.
already, I'll have to find out, but I was watching the Blue Box RPG channel a couple, like last week or something, and they had the Spire development group actually on his show.
Yes.
Are you trying to make me vomit all over my studio?
Yes. Do it.
Supposedly, there's people doing aftermarket packs that you'll be
Yep.
able to download.
Correct. They are. So what they're doing is it's actually available now. Is anything that's published, right? So you can go into Tailspire and then go to. So look, the cool thing about Tailspire is that I can just go up to my board, right, and just create a new board and boom, empty. Cleans out this board for me.
Gotcha.
And the way to get back to that is you're gonna press spacebar again to open up your build stuff, your wizard, your tutorial, whatever you want to call it, and you can go back to the boards, right?
Okay.
Click it, and it brings you back to the board you were just at.
Awesome. This is really cool, man.
So, question: what game engine is this running off of? Like Unity?
It's its own.
It's its
I-
own?
Yeah,
It's
I
its own.
believe so. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
when they did the interview, they made it sound like it was their own. And the reason why they wanted to go with their own, I believe, is that it'll be easier for them to share the code for the integrated packs.
Correct.
Otherwise, if they
Yeah.
went with the Unity engine, they'd have to take a Unity license, and people who develop packs would have to have a Unity license.
Yes. Whereas
Yes.
this allows them to just make anything for themselves and themselves only.
It's
And there's
awesome.
going to be free and paid up to whatever somebody wants to do. So I know people. So I was looking through it before, and I've seen a whole city built.
That's fabulous. It's
Yeah.
way more work. That's way more work I'm willing to do, but I think it's amazing.
I've seen a guy who's literally covered the whole area, and it's a large city. And he has another one that's a large dungeon, another one that's a large cavern.
But is it scalable? Is it something that you could present on an online solution to you playing a game?
Yes.
So,
So
my
it's
concern,
just like
my
so. Think
concern
about
is
this.
always the scalability of something that, from a functional perspective.
Yeah. Just think about it like, for example, think about it like when you build your, when you build your encounters,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So I know how you like using the specific encounters for what you're doing, right?
Right.
So imagine doing that just in a 3D model. That's it. Why is this?
Got you. Because okay, I see what you're saying. I scale it to my needs. I'm not forced to use their scale, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but if you were to scale a city,
You could.
if you were to scale a city and then present it on your online game, it would almost be like would it be like a camera descending down into the city, and you know what
Well,
I mean? Like,
what it does is it goes off of wherever the GM is looking, right?
right.
So if the GM is looking here, or specifically wherever the person that is in control of their camera. So let's say
Gotcha.
like the players are way over here and they're dealing with the assets that are on this side right here.
Okay.
The GM will always know where they are.
Well, here,
Okay.
let's talk about that then. Let's go ahead and finish building out just this tavern so we can show people how we select tokens and then run the board. So to
Okay.
speak.
Well, let's go with that then.
Okay.
So we've made the first and the second floor.
Okay.
Right. So now we want assets, right? So there's stairs, right?
Gotcha.
Every tavern needs stairs to get to the second floor.
Do they really? Do we just do dwarf tossing or?
Oh, you could, but no.
Oh, look at that!
Right?
That is so
Or
cool.
gnome tossing.
Yeah, gnome tossing.
Boom, right up there, right? Not
Boom.
even hard. And now I can make this, and boom, now you're up to the second floor
Awesome.
by
Okay.
making some stairs, right? And if I really wanted to, I can move it over.
And these internalize. So everything in the library is considered assets.
Yes,
Gotcha.
everything in the library is an asset,
Gotcha.
right? So now we have the stairs that are going up, right?
Okay.
We have the doors, we have the stairs. Let's make some other assets. So you're gonna go down to the builder, right? This hammer gives you specific assets for whatever you're doing, right? And we want food, not food and drink, but we want crafting. Well, crafting would give us tables, containers, camping, fences, furniture. That's what we want because this is a tavern, remember?
Okay.
So tavern. Now we got tables. Boom. Table. Table.
Boom.
Table.
Boom.
Done.
Boom.
Right? And if we want to move the table, we move the table.
Can we smack a midget with the table? I mean,
We
a
can.
gnome or a halfling?
I mean, I wouldn't see why
I
not.
don't think that's PC,
Oh.
buddy.
And there's tables with drinks on them.
Yep. Or you could just go.
There's tables with
With-
stools, and there's and then the ones with the chairs. Ooh, a pig. Pig, nice.
And so the cool thing is,
Oh, that
in
is
Tales
cool.
Thrones. I love the candle.
God, that is
and
cool.
and how it you can see the candle reflecting on the wall behind it.
yeah.
I mean,
so
not reflecting,
the
but
really cool thing I like is that at the bottom of the library, it tells you what you're going to be looking at, right? So you press the site where it says furniture, and then you go down a table, right?
mhm.
And you
Right,
go,
they've
this is
tabbed it.
miscellaneous.
They've all short
chair,
tabbed it.
and then there's beds, shelf, merchant.
That's pretty well
Flip.
organized. That's pretty
No,
cool.
Oh, they have ones that are flipped too.
Yeah, this is for
Flip
tavern
table.
fights, or maybe the tavern has been, ransacked
Ransacked.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
All right, so
you
we've
could
got
also go
our
with lights.
so we've got everything built, right?
Can you put the candles on, like the candelabras on the table?
Let's see, candelabra
Yeah.
on the table.
Well, yeah,
On
because
the table, you can.
well,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
because your mouse controls the height of even those individual assets, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Dude, this
So-
Spire is going to be a game changer for a lot of online players.
It really is.
It's,
We
This
were
is
talking
going to be
about a
super,
little bit.
super useful.
They're even gonna they're even talking about Hero Forge integration.
yeah, I've heard that because it's basically using the same scalable three-dimensional modeling.
hmm Yeah, and that was the main reason why I asked about the engine because the asset packs and everything. That's something that I've done for other games before. So I was wondering because the different programs can do different stuff with it.
Ooh, we should have a session where Skathos, you show us how you build assets. That would be cool.
Oh, I'm not too good with the 3D modeling for Blender, but I can show how you can like just a quick tutorial through Substance Painter, which is what I use.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I make
Let's put
I've
that.
made so much stuff.
We'll put that on the schedule if you're comfortable doing it. I think that'd be a great chill session.
Yeah, just how to utilize Substance Painter in
Yeah.
order to like work on stuff.
Yeah, I think that's amazeballs.
So let's go with
And we'll
No.
end it with, if you want to hire Skathos to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, pretty much. You can find my resume at www.hiremeplease.com.
Precisely.
Desperately hire me, please.com.
I don't want to work retail anymore.
Yeah.
Needworknow.com.
you cannot hire Enigma because Enigma is tired from his real job. So.
Yeah, I hear you.
Mhm.
So I'm just making small doors and some stuff for.
Well, and I
The
think the ease of use will really help people like me that are considering transitioning some of my encounters into stuff like this. And I think it'll really help people that don't have the ability to build a battle cam setup like I have, right? Because a tabletop battle cam setup, by the time you're done, you could be easily $1,000 into it. And like any encounter, you do some pre-building in anticipation. But the beauty I love about this, you could pre-build up to 25 encounter boards that match the narrative of your story, and then you can just pull them in really quick as how your encounter is evolving. You can have like a basic tavern or a basic shop or a basic trail walk that's being taken or a basic cavern entrance and stuff like that all set to go.
Jason, you remember how when you were doing in-person games and you still had the TV and stuff that you'd do for some of your maps? You could probably do this for a bunch of your maps and then just take the TV and run it off of.
Well, I don't know. Does this thing have an overhead view?
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah, it has a ton of cool views. You can even do like the
forget.
character's line of sight. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I was doing character line of sight in my campaign the other day.
The only problem is if I film an in-studio game, well, actually, it would be easier to film an in-studio game because I could still have the cameras on the players, and then I could do a game capture input for the screen of the map and have it so that the people at home can see it while it's being played out, still see the players who are playing. And oh my God, this could be a real game changer for models, though, for like 3D plastic models and miniatures in general.
Oh yeah,
there's the overhead camera.
Now, how did you do the overhead?
So all you do for the overhead camera is you're gonna click the middle mouse wheel like it's a button again.
Okay.
And you're gonna move it up or down.
Okay.
Interesting.
Now, Enigma, does this have options for like miniatures?
Yep. So that's exactly what I was about to show you guys next.
Perfect.
Right. So they have beasts. So beasts of burden. So look, chickens.
Nice.
Little chicken. Bark, 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 bark,
We
bark.
have buck chickens up top.
Then we got cows, right? We got
Cows upstairs.
I like how they
Just-
plop into existence. That's so funny. It's like
We got
God.
more chickens.
You're plopping them down.
You're God dropping.
Ooh, do a snapping turtle. Oh, they have halflings.
and if anyone wants to see this in action with combat, you can check out the VOD for the last stream for Titans Revival.
That's
Shameless
right.
plug.
It is in the library. You can go ahead and click on that on TTRPG Academy and check out the cool encounter that was run.
It's gonna eat the chickens.
So it's got a bunch of different types of assets. Currently, the assets are set, and it's just whatever they're putting out. for
Right,
now.
right.
But they are coming out with more.
They have dragon folk, dwarfs, elemental, elf.
Demonic, dragon folk, dwarves, elementals, elves, fae, giants, which I kind of like the size of the giants.
That was pretty cool.
Oh no, they're going to tear down our store.
Oh, that's cool.
Tavern.
That's a frost giant right there.
Yeah.
That's good
There's a frost
perspective.
giant, that's a stone
Giant
giant.
axe,
So you can actually
and a
see the
fish
difference in size, because the stone giant is one of the smallest.
Mhm.
Right, I think it's ahead of the hill giant, which is the smallest. and then the stone
Correct.
giants are about the average size of giants.
Correct.
And then there's gnomes, which I like the size. You can see the little size comparison.
Gnome tossing. Dude, those are like my dogs right next to the stone giant. You could like punt them.
Yep. And then you can see the real size of a normal person with the
So
tieflings.
in reality, once your board is built and you use these asset tokens, and if you don't want to force your players to have to pay for the game either, you basically load up the board and move the assets based on how they communicate to you.
Yep.
I mean, there's not really an exe run. That's what I get frustrated with Roll20 and some of the other VTT ones. They actually want you to build something and then run it separately outside of its build formula. Does that make sense?
Yeah. This is built exactly for that though. So let me show you a small example.
Okay.
Right? So let's kill this.
Oh man, my
Wait, how
turtle died.
are you doing that? You click on it and then
Click on it and it gives you a.
So you right click it.
Okay.
Right.
Right? It gives you the stats and the different
Gotcha.
things that you can have for it.
Ooh, can you lower the HP and whatnot as it so it tracks the HP and stuff too?
Yep.
Nice.
That's what he was doing yesterday with the arena encounter.
Yeah,
Nice.
so look, let me show you
The only
something.
thing about that is on like the bad guys, the players would be able to see exactly how much HP is left, and
Well, that's why I didn't. Well, so I didn't do it on there. I just
Okay.
kind of tracked it on my own
okay,
because I modify a lot of my enemies. So
right.
go with.
Oh yeah, and see a stone giant or a frost giant having 10 HP. I would love that. Can they
It's
just
also
have 10 HP?
it's also great that when they get placed, it shakes the whole screen.
It does. They are
That's a
flipping.
really nice little feature.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm stepping. Stomp,
They have
stomp,
a torch
stomp.
on now. They have no torch on.
It's 3 in the
Emotes.
morning. Don't you all have
Surprise.
jobs?
Wiggle, twirl.
Now that's weird. All of my
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. Wiggle,
all of
wiggle,
my
wiggle,
beast
wiggle,
assets
yeah.
are grayed out.
Huh.
They don't want you to have beasts.
Your beast assets are grayed out.
Yeah. Well, they're grayed out when I plop them onto the board.
Oh, that's because you're in a build. That's it. It's so make sure you're not in a different mode. So at the top of your screen,
Right.
make sure you're in the right mode, right? Because I'm in the build mode, and you're probably in exploration mode.
Oh, which is the build mode?
Build mode, just press B.
Just press
The
B?
one with the feet at the top.
No, that's exploration.
Oh, my bad. Don't listen to me.
Just press the B key, nothing happens.
Yeah, not all you have to do is press B, and you'll should say build mode at the top.
Okay, yeah, it says build mode at the top.
Yep. Now you should be able to open it, and those assets shouldn't be grayed out anymore.
Nope, they're still grayed out. Could I have found a bug?
Well,
No,
that's
it's
just grade.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you just press build mode. Press the build mode at the top.
Thought I did do that. Okay.
Did you click it?
Yeah.
They should ungray.
No, they're still grayed out.
Well, look at mine. Are they grayed out like mine?
Yes.
Okay. Just go to the top where it says toggle build mode.
Okay.
Click it.
Okay, so I did find a bug. So what happens is if your build mode is clicked, right? And if I have a beast, and I've selected a beast, when I move, if I'm still selecting a beast and I go to, and I'll have to report this, if I go to toggle build mode while I've selected a beast, it stays in gray mode. You have to right click and unselect your asset before you can interact with the build mode. So yeah, I'll report that bug. That's a UI bug. I'll report that one. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, it works. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
So the one thing I kind of like is that you can show two assets attacking each other.
Get out. I demand.
All
See
right.
this.
So look, right? You see, it says attack, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to turn him.
Blurry.
I went too close.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I need to switch glasses for that.
There we go. There we go. Now, how'd you control the getting in that close like that?
I just turned.
You
Amount?
use the compass, right?
No. So I used the white asset thing on the right. This.
That scroll bar.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, I scrolled it all the way to the bottom so I can make sure I see. So look, now, attack,
Oh,
yeah.
headbutt.
attack.
Well,
Oh,
okay,
headbutt.
so that shows the scrolling up and down, but how'd you get it to zoom in like that? That's different.
Oh, yeah. So that's scrolled. So now I'm all the way out, right?
Oh, dude.
Just zoom in.
Dude, this is so fucking cool. Do you know how long I've been waiting for something like this?
Boom.
This is
That's how I was showing yesterday.
yeah. This is
Headbutt.
There.
this is
Headbutt.
insane,
Headbutt.
bro. This is such a game changer. I'm like a huge miniature guy, which for my major encounters, I will still do the miniatures, but holy shit, I have so much more theater of the mind stuff I can support with this method now. Holy
Look at how
buckets.
ugly that goblin is. That's awesome.
This is going to put all the other VTTs out, bro.
Oh, you killed the creature.
This
He's
is
dead.
one of the, I mean, this is like the SpaceX of online VTT.
It'd be really cool if, like, you could show them, like, dead on the floor instead of just disappearing.
I
Yeah,
think there's an unconscious option.
There's an
Yeah, can you knock it
unconscious
from?
option. I don't have that emote wheel put up.
Oh, okay.
I need to figure out how to do that.
So how do you assign an emote wheel? Do you have to assign an emote wheel to a figure?
Oh,
I
you have
think
it
so.
flying?
Yeah, he's flying.
He's flying!
Oh, that's cool.
Now,
So this
control.
entire
He's
game,
flying.
so this
He's
entire
flying.
this entire game board that we're interacting with is actually the board you'd use for an encounter, correct?
Correct.
It's like Peter Pan, he's flying.
So it's not
Flying.
like you have to build this and then integrate it into like an executable shell, and then you have to run it through a separate shell. Everything could just be done through one point of integration.
Correct.
Oh my God, Skathos, are you? I mean, but you've got a solid background in programming and design work. I mean, this is pretty significant difference
This
compared
is
to
huge.
most of the other ones, right?
When we were playing Tuesday, like collectively, Ian and Nick, like all of us were just geeking out when he was like, and I'm actually going to show you. And like literally Ian and I were sitting there like little kids just like, no way, that's so cool.
Oh my God, I'm going to do a whole nother chill session tomorrow on me learning off of what Enigma has taught me, because and the other thing too is with OBS Studio, I could actually do like oh shit, you know what I could do, Skathos? I could actually do a silent film and then edit in music and do my own kind of like clip art or like my own clippings.
Yeah, almost like a machinima.
Yeah.
Where
Holy
you could literally show what your characters are doing in the encounters by showing this little video.
Mhm.
You know?
holy
Yeah, you can fade it out. You could do that when you're talking about
there's also a
characters'
fog of
backstory
war
during the
feature.
introductions.
Yeah, okay. So let's
Oh.
recap really quick, right? So you have the main menu, which essentially tells you to hit the begin button. You hit the begin button. Up in the upper left-hand panel is all your tutorials. They are currently not integrative. You can click on them and they will give you instructional references, but they don't give you integrated instructions where if you click on it, something actually happens. They're just a reading tutorial as reference, right?
Yes.
At the very bottom is your library. And when you create your net new board for the first time, obviously come up with a nomenclature or a naming convention that you want to use, name the board, and then you use the library and all the available assets to start actually building what you want your board to look like. And because of the height feature, zoom feature. And here's the trick, right? So there's, the mouse now has that level of in-depth mechanics that it's been missing for a long time, right? Like a lot of games, a lot of VTT stuff, it's all command typing, but now your mouse to zoom in and out is just spinning your mouse wheel. To select an asset at whichever height you want it to go, right? It's you hit control, and then you just move your physical mouse, not your mouse wheel, but you move your physical mouse up and down. And here's the cool thing I noticed too. When you do that, Enigma, it automatically defaults to grid mode. So it gives you the visualization of the height metric that you need, right? Because we know that a single height metric may not be enough. It looks like 5 height metrics gives you a 5 foot. I mean, would you consider those 5 foot walls or 10 foot walls? Those are probably 10 foot walls.
These are probably
right?
about 10 foot walls, yes.
Okay, so for that to match up, trying to get okay. So based on that, this is where a little bit of my analytical science comes into play. Based on that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's interesting is when it might be 8. Give me 1 sec. So
Enigma,
do me a favor.
just do like Alt J or Alt K. You can do like multiples like that. That way it doesn't interact with other like shortcuts.
So do me a favor really quick, Enigma.
Oh, nope, it doesn't do that. Okay.
Enigma, do me a favor. Put a ground level piece in, similar to like the tavern. Just go off to the side, put a ground level piece in.
I will be right back.
Okay, no worries. Now, select another ground level piece and raise it. So now go back over to where the tavern is, right? And do that again near the tavern. Off to the side. And then count how many grids upward it takes.
Oh, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So is it 8 to make it align with it?
8 to make it align, correct.
So click it. All right. So here's the interesting thing. Their preset pieces are gridded 8 high. What would be a really cool thing that they could potentially work into this game or work into this tool is that when you're in that grid mode, it should show you the grid levels of the other stuff you've already built, so that when you want to work with individual pieces and you want to match heights, otherwise you could just spend a lot of your time constantly, doing the up and down schism to try to match those heights. Otherwise, using the preset height pieces will keep you from having to worry about that. But it would seem for their preset pieces, it's an 8 grid height unit, those 8 of those grids to match it.
Correct.
Oh, cool. That's my little engineer brain kind of kicking in. So have you noticed you're in build mode and your figure's grayed out?
Yep.
Now, do me a favor. Go and select an asset.
Mm-hmm.
Try selecting any one of those building assets.
You can't, because I'm not in build mode.
No. Okay, so from build mode, select an asset.
Mm-hmm.
Now keep it clicked and then move your mouse to the build mode toggle at the same time.
You can't.
Yeah, you can. Keep going.
See, it'll move the piece.
Okay, so drop that back down. Go to your library. Keep it clicked, right? Like you're selecting it for the first time. So click it.
Mm-hmm. It's clicked.
And then drag it onto the table. Now go to toggle build mode while you're clicking it. But keep it, yeah. And then, you see? So if it's preset piece that's already identified on the board, you can't toggle. And that's the bug I was running into, is that I was not letting go of my asset, the character asset, and that's why it was getting me confused. So there are certain conditions that kind of are a little bit wonky, but dude, this is a game changer, man. This is huge. This is huge. Let's try experimenting with building like a wilderness setup, like with hills and stuff like that.
Sure. Let's move to a new board.
And see, to me, and this is what makes this so cool. It's just the board that I've ever cared about, right? Just the construction of the board, drop in my tokens and assets, and have it on standby for when I have a game about to run. To me,
that's what I did the other day with their game. And then you just saw, I was just like, actually, let me just show you guys. And I just opened up everything.
Well, and the nice thing with OBS, you can go ahead and have your game capture running and Spire is running, but you could turn off the visual of the source so that once you have it predefined in the area of your overlay where you want it to take place, you just unblink the source and boom, it comes into existence.
Mm-hmm.
This is so cool. So cool.
So I've made a small grassland for you. What did you want to do?
So how would you mimic like hills? And imagine you're walking through the wilderness, you come to a series of hills, and then there's a cavern entrance. How do you think we would do that?
Well,
Get a little creative in this session.
I would go from, you said we're in the wilderness, we'd go from there, switch it up. A path, right? Into, maybe not a swamp, but go into a cavern-like structure.
Oh, so okay, there you go. So you have cavern tiles you can use.
Yep. And I would go.
Oh, that's
Cavern.
cool. That's cool. And you could actually height control the flat cavern pieces, right? And make it appear like there's a cave entrance.
Yeah. So how I do that is just click another one and height control it. Nope. Come on. Do what I say, not what I want.
Do what I say, not what I want.
Why are you moving it vertically? Am I not clicking the right button? I am clicking the right button.
Because the height control is...
So that's how you do multiple at the same time.
Right.
So
Wonder
you're
why
just
it's not letting you... It's control,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, it's normally control. So I don't know what's going on.
Do you still have control set in the fog toggles?
No.
Okay.
It should be move object vertically. Oh, maybe it's that. Nope, that's... Nope.
Is it because you're already heightened up? Did we not start at level? No, we started at level.
Starter level.
I wonder if you changed the setting by mistake when you were doing those quick keys.
Maybe. Let's check my key mappings. Elevate object modifier. Rotate.
Because I was able to do it on my board, so I know it works. So something got screwy. So either you found a bug, somehow in that in that way you've done those pieces.
Hide creature, teleport creature.
You want to try resetting the board? Like save it, go back out, come back in. Maybe it's just a cache feature, cache issue. Because right now
Looks
it's
like
right now it looks like you have set it for multi-tile when you do that.
yeah.
So
Just
you're
move tile vertically. There you go.
there. You go.
Oh, here's what I was doing. I know what I was doing wrong.
What's up?
I was clicking the right mouse button at the same time.
And that's multi-tile.
Yes.
Gotcha. And now spin us around so we can see it. Yeah, see? You've made a. I mean, it's a little asymmetrical, but you know, it does what you need it to do. Now, what about trees and bushes and stuff like that? Do we have an asset menu for that?
Oh yeah, we definitely have an asset menu for that too.
Dude, that's awesome. That is...
So let's show you the asset menu for trees.
Okay.
Right. So let's go real quick and go back to nature so we can fill in some empty spots. Need you to be in the right spot, please.
And if you're watching out there, this is kind of a lot of things that we do on our Discord. We'll meet. In fact, we're in our Discord tavern chat right now. You know, our members can pop in whenever they want to. These are typical of our teaching and learning sessions. This is what we're all about. When new tools come out, new ideas come out, people want to learn how to do certain things. That's what we're here for.
So what I just did was I went down to the hammer, which is all the other assets.
Gotcha.
And I just went down to nature. I went down to tree, and I picked a tree.
So it appears that their hex methods, so their square method is still a 5-foot square, correct? We would, as storytellers, we're going to interpret it as a 5-foot space.
Correct.
From a standpoint of people moving through it. Okay. Well, you could really build some cool stuff. And now you said you mentioned something about line of sight, right?
Yep. So that's what I'll show you next.
Okay.
Right. So we have. Let's go with one of the larger creatures, giant creatures. Let's go with giant. No. Let's go with the giants actually, because it will probably look better. Right. So there's a giant right there, right? And I'll make a human.
Okay.
He's gonna appear over here. Right? Do what I say. Drop back out, right? I'm gonna go here, look him down.
Now how'd you spin him around?
So I just click him and turn him in the direction you want to be. Turn him in. So look, this would be his line of sight. So
yeah, but
he would see.
How did you turn him though? What did you use? I forgot.
I just clicked him and then turned him. That's it.
Oh really? So
Click,
just
turn. That's it. All I'm doing is turning him with the mouse.
Oh, dude, that's intuitive design. That is not lazy programming. That's an intuitive design that says, I want to mimic how people would handle an actual figure.
See, look. See, now this is his line of sight.
That's
right?
Crazy.
So that would be his line of sight, right? But the giant's line of sight would be here.
That is crazy. This is such a game changer.
Can't see him because he's behind this tree. Kind of, actually. He would be able to see him just barely behind this tree.
Yeah, that's nutty. That is nutty.
And then you come back out and you see that.
I'm going to have so much fun with this. I'm not going to lie. I want to look something up on the Googles really quick.
So actually, let me show you how I hide characters, right? So you're going to right click him, right? And then you're going to hide.
All right, do that again. What'd you do?
So all you have to do to hide characters, right?
Uh-huh.
Click them, right click, and then go to hide.
Now,
gives you the hide feature.
gotcha. So those wheels, those emote wheels or whatever, a lot of those are predisposed, right? They're already defaulted.
Mm-hmm.
And can you customize that?
What?
Can you customize those emote wheels to add additional?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, but you're working with the default ones.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. That is amazing. That is really... So how would you do like a pure sky combat? Does it come with clouds?
Hold on, I can show you.
I would imagine it'd be under nature, right?
I believe... I don't think they have a sky combat just yet.
Okay.
But I could also be wrong, you know? Let's just look. See what they got.
God, they got a lot of assets already, man. That's crazy.
Palestine. They have desert.
Now, if you put a
swamp,
roof on something, is there a way that you could pass through it, do you think?
a roof, yeah. So that's what I was saying with this
With that cavern?
this scale, yeah,
Yeah.
the scale model. So that's why you'd have to use that if you're actually going to put a roof on something, right?
Right.
So, for example, cavern, the floor assets, give me that. Right. So now there's a roof on it.
So you right-click that time, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
See, but now there's no way for me to. Well, you could as the GM, you'll be able to penetrate, right? So over the sky view, now you're penetrating, but you're only going to be able to penetrate up to the roof, right? But
Right.
if you're in, their first-person view,
Yeah.
this is what you'll be able to see.
Holy shit, dude. You could really game change the way you do a delve with this. You could build an entire delve and use this as your online perspective for the tokens. And you could either do a Theater of the Mind delve, or you have the asset players like just slightly cut into the screen, and you're showing your online players what they see as they delve.
Yeah. Also, the really cool thing is that players can do this too with their model, right? So they'll see the model and then they can go into this first-person view, and this is what they'd see where if their model was in
I
front of
wonder
them.
if you would be able to lock them into a first-person view,
I
or
don't
as a
know.
game, or as the game role, as the role owner or the game master owner with that game master role, you can penetrate through. Maybe they only have one point of view as a player,
Mhm.
right? Because if you pan out, right? Hey, thanks, Sly Fox, for the follow. I appreciate it. If you jump over to our Discord and roll some dice, because we'll be giving away, or go to our Bring 'em Dice channel. We will be giving away dice tomorrow at 5:00, and we do it every week. A fresh Bring Your Dice channel is built, and then everybody rolls for dice. So hop on over to our Discord, and thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So here, so once again, right? It's the narrative of, does it make sense? So Mittens, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now.
So as not being overtly technically savvy, if you were sitting in on a game, do you think this would heighten your experience?
I do. Rather than just the theater of the mind, it's nice being able to see it and then orient yourself where the players are and where the bad guys are, because I know a lot of times it takes up time when you're like, all right, now where am I and how close are the bad guys? And, and you can't really see it. But Enigma is totally going to make me sick.
All right, so our first section was to talk about the basics. We built the basic tavern. We learned the heights and depths, the basic assets.
I do have a question.
Okay, shoot.
Are each of those squares 5 feet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
These are all considered 5 feet.
That's the same question
All
I had.
considered 5
From
feet.
a scalability, right? Because so with that, the first section was a basic interlude. This is a little bit more complex because now we're looking at a wilderness scaled. Wait, where'd the smaller tile come from? How'd you do that?
Oh, there's just smaller So, I'm sorry. So, this is a 5x5. So that's a 10.
Okay, that makes more sense. I thought something was a little bit wonky on the scaling because your asset.
This is a 5-foot square.
Right, and
That's also a 5-foot square.
That's a 1x1, right?
Mm-hmm. These are 5-foot squares.
Now toggle the grid for me really quick.
These are 4 squares.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But scroll back over to the terrain there. Get closer to it, and go into the point of view of the player. Right. Go down to the point of view of the player. See, when you toggle the grid, it doesn't grid the tile.
No.
No. That's because it's not where it needs to be.
What does that mean? So the height. You can subheight the tile. You can subheight the tile to the level of the grid, or you toggle the grid. There you go. Okay.
So each of those squares are actually 10 by 10,
Yes.
not 5 by 5.
Got you. But you can control the height of the toggling grid. And which feature was that off to the right? Which diamond was that? The white diamond?
No. This is the white diamond shows you where you're looking as the GM.
Gotcha. Dude,
Right.
I'm going to smack you. Do that again.
And then this.
I'll be right back.
The red, the
orange.
build. Okay, so
The
with
orange
Building one.
So with grid mode on, and then you drag the building diamond, the hammer diamond, up and down.
Okay.
Now, can you leave that grid toggle on permanently to help the players? Or would it be better to use it as a temporary toggle for when they ask how far they can move?
Be more of a temporary toggle, to be completely
Well,
honest.
I like that too, because then they can't predict their range.
Exactly.
I love that idea.
But as the GM, you'll be able to. And the cool thing is, so this is what I was using the other day when they asked, "Oh, how far away is this?" It's like, well, you can only normally move about 6 tiles, right? So this is my start point, and this is half a tile. That's a full tile, and it's telling you how far you're moving.
And which feature is that? That is the line feature.
Yeah, this is the line feature, and that tells you that's 6 tiles. So that's 30 feet. So at this guy's range right now, he could move up to that tree. A full 30 feet.
Gotcha. Dude.
So now let's go into another setting, right? So now let's say the enemy has a cone. Now you see where your cone is going.
Oh,
Holy
interesting.
shit, bro.
Now let's go with a
Sphere.
Like
radius.
an area of effect, a radius.
AoE.
He was doing this yesterday with the
Oh my God, dude,
like
that
lightning
is-
bolt things that we were having to deal with in the arena.
That's awesome. That's really
And if
cool.
that's a fireball, then that means that all of those trees and bushes and everything in there are on
Yep.
fire.
I cast mitten ball.
Hot, 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 hot.
and it's easy to turn on and off because look, it's just right here underneath. Toggle rulers.
So we've gone over a lot, and obviously I'm going to do more of these sessions in the future, and I'm going to do something with Skathos in the future. How do we do like just a raw? So 2 more examples I kind of want to get recorded. How do we do like hills? What are your thoughts on hills?
So I haven't really seen a feature where like you could augment
Slope it.
where like the
So I'm
assets,
wondering if
like,
it's
up and
multi-stack.
down.
I think
Yeah,
that's what it's
I was
going
thinking
for
multi-stacking
now,
would be the best way.
because
So-
they have sloped assets for like roofs and stuff, but they don't have it for landscape yet. So I want to say that might be something that they might do.
I was thinking like things like this. This is what you'd have to do for a hill.
So they end up looking like stairs.
Yeah.
Yes, but you're also able to set your your character on each elevation part of the elevation change.
Exactly.
That's true. If it was sloped, you probably wouldn't be able to.
It'd become a slip and slide.
Oh, so you know what's really interesting?
A slope
I-
and slide.
I've noticed I don't even have to mouse up my selector when I start stacking tiles.
No.
That is really intuitive design. That's good design work, because that means I can take a my god, I think I'm in love with this thing. I think you're in trouble,
Oh
babe.
man, I'm in trouble.
So I can
Man.
Oh,
take
I'm putting a flash sale on my merch store so I can buy this.
Hey, if
Like, I
you
just need
need
to make 25 bucks.
Skatos, I'll tell you what, man. Do you have Venmo or PayPal?
Oh, don't worry about it. Let me
Ooh,
let me
wait,
fund
yeah,
my
yeah.
own like
Wait,
little
No,
fever dreams.
what do you sell? What do you sell again? What do you sell?
So I have a merch store.
Yeah.
I have actually made my own skateboarding apparel company, and I actually only need to make about 25 more bucks in order to be able to actually get boards made.
What kind of skateboarding? What's the website?
It's through Teespring, so it's kind of hard to find. I'll
I
drop a
love
link in
Teespring.
here.
Drop the link. Drop the link.
So, Enigma, help me with my zooming in and out. I'm having a hard time with that again. So
It is in the
Middle
tavern
mouse
chat,
wheel.
and let's see if Twitch will let me put it in the.
Only if the
Twitchy chat.
broadcaster allows you.
Oh.
Well, good thing you're not the broadcaster today, and Jason is. Nope.
I don't allow
5-second timeout.
send it to me. I'll put it in there.
Yeah, it's in the tavern chat. Same links in the tavern chat.
So this is what I would do for like a hill, Jason.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Because this is the only thing that would make sense for me.
Now, obviously, if they start producing, I'm just a little. There must be something about the mechanics of their 3D design that
my
makes
gosh.
sloping hills challenging or something.
You have a
Probably.
police officer that's full of donuts.
Yes, that's an old poster. That's actually like an old poster from the '80s that I had found, and I used it originally for a show flyer for a show that my band played. Let me find the flyer.
So this is the cool thing that I like. So let's say you want to make just a quick, like whole map, just that, boom. It's big.
Boom. Aw, today's pigs are tomorrow's bacon. Aw.
It's without trying to get too into politics and everything on the stream, it's a saying that I've had forever because I've never really had the best interaction with law enforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I've not had bad interactions with them, so. But we're gonna possibly get a pig and turn it into bacon. So that kind of.
So really quick, Enigma, I was trying to zoom closer. So I put an asset to the back of my board. How do I zoom to the back of the board?
What do you mean?
So right now I can spin around, but because I've put assets at the very back of my board, how do I get closer to them? I think I forgot a zoom step. Yeah, how did you do that? How are you zooming straight in like that over the board?
Oh, just click the middle mouse wheel and go up and down with your mouse. So this changes the asset and then just in and out with the middle mouse wheel.
That's the show flyer that I'd made using that poster originally.
Did you put it in Twitch?
In the tavern chat.
Ah.
Yep, that was with my old band Hogsaw.
Huh.
I'm still a little wonky on their zooming feature. I don't know if I like it.
That's because you don't have the zoomies.
All you have to
Well,
do is literally, Jason, it's easy. Middle mouse wheel, just scroll. That's it.
No, I know that. I get that. But if you put so scroll all the way out for me. See how your assets are all the way in the back right-hand corner of that part of the board?
Yeah.
How do you get your camera to recenter over there?
WASD.
Oh, you asshole. You already knew. See, this is why me and Enigma get along so well. He knew exactly what I was looking for, but he was waiting for the hero moment. He was waiting for that cavalry moment. Oh, that's easy, you old fuck. You know the old keys that been around since Zork? You old piece of shit, right? You old purple-haired man. Remember the the WASD keys that your generation invented? You use those, you big dummy.
I mean, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but
Well, if you could toot your own horn, you'd never go out on dates.
I mean, I don't go out on dates now, so that's probably why.
Ooh, that makes me wonder.
Ooh.
That makes me suspicious. Sus.
He's
Enigma,
taking out his frustrations of the Titans Revival party on everyone else because
I
we keep
need you guys to not do that, okay?
we keep
girls. I
No.
can find girls in you said New
Nope,
Mexico
nope.
maybe.
New Mexico.
I can find girls.
Easy there, babe.
I'd set people up.
I'm
I'm
sure
good.
you would.
Enigma's just taking out his frustrations from the Titan Revival campaign because we keep threatening to recruit 6 NPCs that he has to voice.
Nope. Still not gonna do it.
Well, no, just make them all from the same family and from the same region, and they all sound the same.
Oh, no, because we were talking about recruiting some Dragonborn that we had to fight that we let live, and I was like, just make Draconic Spanish, you'll be fine.
That's funny.
Just make the chronic Spanish.
Because it started off with me telling him, I was like, hey, just like you know, if Skathos dies, he has a familiar you're gonna have to voice.
Yeah, so
Or the replacement character.
So really, until they come up with a hill asset pack, this could be a challenge. I mean, that could take a lot of work to build a single hill.
I mean, the asset pack, I don't think it would be too hard to make because you would just have to
But I'm
basically
wondering.
group everything.
Well, but here's the thing, though. I'm wondering if the problem is not the problem. I'm wondering if the challenge is the modeling, right? So, for example, should a hill to make hills, would it make more sense to model it as an image like a tree, and then a combination of those images make a hill? Or does it make more sense to create terrain tiles that look like hills? Kind of like what they did with the roofing tiles, right?
I think it would have to be terrain, but it would also still have to. The way that I would go about it for just a really simple one would just be using the assets that are already there, these squares,
right.
and using them to mock something up in a 3D program like Blender or Maya or whatever
Right.
people are using that day.
Right.
And then pretty much making it so I wouldn't put like a hill. I would make it different slopes where you could do like a 2x1 or a 1x2 or that kind of thing, depending on how drastic of an elevation change you would want.
Because otherwise, you'd have to come up. So if you go back to nature, right? If you go back to nature, I'm still salty over that WASD thing. I'm not gonna lie. Super salty. So so the hammer is all the other assets, right?
Yes.
So under there, one of the things you could do.
I just made a ziggurat.
That's pretty. Yeah. Well, yeah. Basically. So where are bushes and stuff again? Where's all that?
So you're gonna go down to nature.
Hammer
Go
then
down,
nature.
go over to plants.
Wait, no. Hammer then nature.
Hammer, then nature.
I have tent, bed, campfire, supplies. I don't see nature.
At the bottom.
Oh, there it is.
Scroll down,
Gotcha.
scroll all the way
got-
down.
Yeah. So there are certain bush and other features. Could you integrate them in such a way to hide those flat tiered features? So like where the flat side of the leveling is, maybe you put bushes and rocks and stuff along there to kind of hide, or does it force it onto the surface of the tile?
Well, let's check.
I would try a bush first, like a series of bushes.
bushy is.
I think you passed them. They're back, or those.
I would use these. Oh, that's a tree.
Yeah. Well, there's rocks too, right? That's one possibility. Those look like jungle
Rocks
features.
and mud and dirt. I think there was a dirt tile too.
Yeah, see, you could technically use like a whole series of available
Okay, Scathos,
Oh,
I just ordered a
see?
t-shirt.
That's how
Really?
you do it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Hey babe, can you order me one too?
Okie dokie.
So I don't know if I'd use that as an option. Try something that's a little bit more broad stroke. Just for flavor, see what it looks like.
What's your t-shirt size, Jason?
XL, please.
XL. Do you want a tank top or a t-shirt?
T-shirt.
What color?
The world does not want me in a tank top.
Do you want...
See, I'm thinking you use a method that you're using, Enigma, to use these alternate features to hide those lines, and you've essentially created terrain-like feature. But you got to find that balance of size, scaling, and how you want it to look covering it. See, this is where you get more into the artistic nature and less, myopic like I am. I sometimes see everything two-dimensionally and have a hard time with 3D.
You said 2X?
XL.
You said XL?
Good Lord.
Said you a big boy.
Everybody's high-roading me today.
Yeah, I didn't know today was Kick Jason Day.
Yeah, no
It is.
kidding.
It's always kick Jason.
Always
Day.
kick Jason Day.
Oh. No.
Oh?
Hold on. Ah, I figured it out.
Oh,
There you
yup.
go. There it is. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can get
Kinda
lost.
looks like
You can get
bushes.
lost in the shenanigery of making hills now if you've got to manipulate this much, these
especially
many
if you
assets
use,
in
like,
and
the
out
rocks.
of. Yeah.
That is cool.
Dude,
That is really good.
Yep, you figured it out. That's awesome. But you could use any of those kind of overlay assets to kind of give it the feel that you want to give it. That is super smart. Super smart.
So many ideas.
So when you click on the rock asset, you're using the control key and using the height feature, basically, Enigma?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. I was thinking about that, but I don't know. That just sounds so involved with like, I hope that doesn't break any of the mechanics. That's a lot of interlocking images in a single space. But it does, that's a hill, dude. That's a fucking hill. That's cool.
Yeah, but think about this. Look, once you come out of build mode, right?
Right.
Go into exploration mode, right? Now you're just dealing with assets. Now you're just dealing with characters, right?
Right.
So let's go out of this, and now it's just a character. She's still just a character.
Right.
I move up 5 feet. Oh, this is difficult terrain.
Right. Got you. Yeah. I see what they've done with their programming. Their programming is using the different modes to minimize. Okay, I see what they've done. That's a hill, bro. That's how you build hills. Because if you did that for all your edging, that would look like a giant scaled hill.
Yep.
And then with the path, you could use the rocks for the elevation change.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I will say this. The problem with building hills is the reason why I don't use a lot of the other VTT games. I have a terrain that's already a hill. I can throw it on my table and I've got a hill. Right? We just spent 20 minutes trying to figure out how to build a hill. If you build future hills, you could end up spending an hour building a hill. and I'm not overly enthused with that reality. So I would still prefer an asset that's more hilly to kind of
Come out.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
But remember, this is still all early
oh
access.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I get it. Even for early access, this is insane.
And that's one of the beauties about early access is I know there's a thing in there to report bugs, but
Yep.
also like depending on the studio, developers love hearing feedback, love hearing ideas. If it's something that's tangible and it's like what, that does sound like a pretty good idea. It's something that could be implemented down the road.
See, once again here, Enigma, you can do the same thing. You can pile up rocks to get rid of that. You could do that to get rid of that boxy look of the cavern entrance and give it a more traditional cave-like entrance.
Okay, Jason, I ordered your shirt too.
Thanks, baby. What'd you get me?
The same one I got, I think.
Which is
Matching.
Human skateboards. It says human skateboards on it.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There's a couple designs. There's the classic HS. There's the.
I got OG tank top, and I got him OG t-shirt.
Awesome. You guys are awesome.
Look at that
Thank you so
right?
much.
You're welcome.
Dude, that's phenomenal.
Now you go in, and that's what you see. You see
Yep.
a cavern wall. Damn it!
But clicking on things. Use your WASD keys, you old fart.
I was. That's why I clicked it. Huh? Right?
Dude, this thing's gonna be because I recently joined the D&D club, so that I can start trying my handiwork at being a paid-for DM. Because with the 2 Wednesday games shutting down, one of the Sunday games shutting down, and the fact that the French Valley game is so inconsistent, I have, and then Saturdays, I'm hoping to make a little side money now that I can practice. Basically got almost a full-blown studio. I just got to get my my microphone integration solved and some final lighting solved, and the studio in Hemet will be open.
Yeah, and I'm still available if you need me. Tuesday through Thursday, I'm available.
Okay.
If you need help with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I prefer you didn't do that. Sorry,
well, remember you can
guys.
underpile that rock too. So you could put it where you think you want it and then fill in the gaps with smaller versions of it. Or itself, because I'm assuming as you go to adjust it and place it, it's automatically delineating the parts of the graphic it doesn't need to show. Dude, see, look at on the interior. That's fucking epic. That's fucking epic.
So cool.
That is so cool.
That is. And I love how it shadows it. So
yeah, the
gives
integrated
it
shadows is amazing.
Yeah, that is really cool. I mean,
because that's also, it's the whole theater of the mind thing, being able to see the shadows. And is there a time of day setting in this?
I think there is.
Just go to atmosphere settings and then you can go.
Oh yeah. That's so
that.
cool. And it has like different sky modes too.
Yeah.
Where? Show me the different sky modes.
Right there where he's playing around with. There's a little like drop down.
God, you're killing me, Smalls. And all this is all interactable from the board that you're working on or playing on.
Yep.
That is
and
so
then here's
cool.
fog. And then there's exposure.
Ooh, volumetric fog.
Do me a favor, put a lantern or something inside the cavern just for giggles.
Sure.
I want to see what that lighting effect looks like with all that change that you just made, and to insert a lighting effect like right into it would be pretty cool.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
That is intuitive programming. This is the kind of programming that we've needed for so long. Where'd it go? What happened to it?
I had to click off of it.
This program is going to be the paradigm shift with virtual tabletop.
Oh yeah, this is going to change everybody's game. Everybody's game is going to change off this, because the main reason why I didn't go with any of those other solutions is I didn't like the fact it felt like I had to rebuild everything inside of their solution. I just wanted to be able to build a board that I could pull off a shelf and use in my game. That's all I wanted to do. And that's
And not just
exactly
that,
what
how
this does.
accessible it is. $25. That's
That's insane.
That's a meal for
insane.
two at a cheap diner. Like
Yeah, that's crazy.
extremely accessible.
So
Yeah.
look, I want to show you guys like how successful this looks, right?
Oh,
that's so
shit.
cool. That's so cool.
Still a little blurry. What's your zoom at?
That's because I don't have it at the proper zoom level.
There you go. Dude, that's beyond insane. You could actually scale it to night vision then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sold. I'm going to start integrating this into some of my games and try it out. Because really the only extra capture I have to have is my game capture on OBS, and my game has to be up and running, but I can have that running on my second monitor so I don't have to fiddle with it on my main monitor.
The cool thing is, like, let's say your players do something to the terrain, you can adjust it while they're talking about it.
Yep.
Yeah, if they
Sit there and
create
just
difficult
adjust it.
terrain or something with a spell, that's ooh.
You made a hallucinatory terrain or something.
Can you imagine a spell effects?
Do not give him ideas.
A spell effects asset packet would be awesome.
That would be really cool.
I don't think there is one in there yet.
Not yet.
And that's the other cool thing too, is that there is going to be these asset packets that are paid or free. I fully plan on maybe relearning Blender and working on something.
Go for it, dude. I mean, if you like being in that creative space, I'll help you. I'll give you all the.
It's my main hobby right now.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I would want to help you via demos and show people how we do this.
And one of my favorite things to do right now is just make maps.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, I would spend so much time on this, like an unhealthy amount of time.
I mean, I already spent an unhealthy amount of time doing certain things, so.
If you saw like what I did with this skateboarding game that I play and the
Holy
amount
shit,
of
they have
detail that
skeleton
goes into-
bones. Okay, let's. We've got about 15 minutes left. Let's tackle the last one before we lose Enigma into his creative thing that he's doing right now. Let's do a water theme really quick so people understand how the water works.
Oh, okay.
And you could add a pond to the existing terrain, or build an island out in the ocean, whichever one you want to try.
Let's make a cave.
Is there a limitation to the board size that you've noticed?
Nope.
So your board could just go on forever?
It seems like the building and everything's procedural, so it just depends on what your computer can handle.
I'm just letting you know. I'm continuously pressing W to show you how far away we are.
Okay, now pivot around at where your other assets are.
You can't see them anymore.
Holy
We're that
shit.
far away. Yeah, so it looks like just as long as your computer can handle it, as long as your CPU can handle it, you can create you can create a city. Like you could create Waterdeep. You could create, like any city setting, any major plane or.
Wow.
This is
a game changer, man. This is huge. This is significantly huge. I mean, the whole reason why I've always struggled with delves is because I don't want people to be able to see what's in front of them, or beyond what they're looking at. I want them to be trapped in their point of view perspective, and things occur as, because to me a traditional delve is a surprise and an amazing kind of like, boom, this comes around the corner and attacks you or something like that.
And even then, with like an actual dungeon delve where it's dark and everything, the darkness, it hides everything fairly well. I mean, even with the light sources, you're not getting a massive illuminated.
Right. It's a little bit more like a torch is supposed to be like 30 feet, right? From center to its furthest point. But this scales the actual lighting effect. What are you doing, Enigma? Are you trying to figure out a water feature?
Nope. I'm looking for where my other assets are.
Did you lose your assets?
Yeah, I lost them.
How do you recenter, do you think?
No clue.
Interesting. Wait. What's that geolocation marker in the bottom right-hand corner?
This is the set a place marker.
Maybe you.
So that's probably what you should have done before we decided
Probably.
to be like, hey, what does this do?
There's got to be a way to get back to it though. That doesn't make any sense. That is funny. You might have found a bug. Well, here, let me see if I can. There's got to be a center option. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think there is once you place a marker down. Because you got to think is that if this is kind of like your infinite
Oh yeah. By the way, there's so the music in Tailspire, you can integrate via the audio.
I don't know. Is it copyrighted?
Not for Tailspire,
Interesting.
because it's all self-made audio that they made.
it's cool.
So I also noticed up at the top next to build mode, while you're trying to just go ahead and just do a water example. I noticed at the top there is next to exploration mode is turn-based mode.
Yep.
And then cutscene mode.
Yep.
Have you experimented with cutscene mode? Does that like allow you to move in between boards?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I have not had a chance to experiment with it just yet. Could you please? There you go.
Oh shit, bro. This is so cool. You basically can take What? Is that what I think it is? So basically what you can do is you can take I just figured it out. So basically what you do is you take a snapshot, you hit grab the shot, and then you can send it to somebody. That is pretty awesome. There's initiative. Oh man. Now what keeps making it go blurry like that? Is that the what causes that? I'm still wondering how you control a fixed area of water, because it seems like whenever you interact with water, it's like the whole board interacts as water. So I'm wondering if you want to do a pond, you have to bring the water in and then build all the land around the area where you have the pond going, because it has you, the whole board is water.
Well, so one of the things that I'm noticing with it is that your base layer isn't necessarily what the players are going to be walking on. You place the land on top of it.
Right.
So if you do have like an area that's gonna have a water feature, then you would have to flesh out. But that's also why it's great that you can click and drag to make these large sections of land.
Well, yeah.
Can you make a raft? Can you make a boat?
Not yet. I don't think there's an asset for a boat yet.
No, I didn't see one.
But it's also early access, so that's not saying there won't be.
Right. I'm gonna check their extra assets really quick. Go to ocean.
Do they have a door that is laying on its side, like a broken door?
I think so. I think I thought I remember seeing that.
Make a raft out of a bunch of broken doors.
I have food and drink.
Do they have fish? And sharks?
So where was all that tavern stuff you found with like the?
Called Tavern.
It's in
The fallen tavern stuff was at the end of tavern. It was under flipped.
Jason,
Yeah.
I have made.
But see, once again, I mean, use the bigger tiles, I think. Would that make more sense? Like the big, yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're doing. So really if you want an integrated water setup. See, I don't know if I like that though, because it's a double build process. It'd be a lot easier. It'd be a lot easier to have your default layer be land and then plop water on top of it, to be honest with you.
Can you do that?
No, I don't think you can.
Default has to be either land or water.
Come on.
Ooh, they have docks. Maybe.
They have ducks.
Docks.
I know.
They might have ducks.
They probably do. That's a pretty
Yeah, I still
standard
don't know where
waterfowl.
I still don't know where those flipped furniture pieces are.
So you go
In
to
the-
tavern
Okay.
and then go to the end of tavern
I'm going all the way to the end of tavern.
in the assets.
In the hammer.
Oh, in the hammer. Do 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 do. Do boo 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 boo.
There's a well. Ooh, there's a fishing pole. Ooh, there's a
I
string
still
of
don't-
fish. I
well,
saw a boat.
I
I saw a
don't-
boat.
I
It's
don't.
in
There was a boat.
it's in
Furniture.
furniture.
Oh, okay, there we go. That makes more sense.
I saw a boat. Where was the fishy and there was a boat at the end.
It was in the same area as like the fishing stuff.
Cool. So I would say the only part of this that's a little clunky for me is the water integration. Not that feels a little like you have to do too much work to scale your work down. Does that make sense? Like if you're, well, I guess the other way you could do it is,
A water asset pack that has water tiles.
yeah, I think that's still going to be the easier way to approach it if you want to do like ponds or rivers or streams. Otherwise,
Yeah, if you're doing if you have a part of your adventure that deals with you on the open ocean or an island, this is obviously
this would be this would be, or if they have a ship asset coming out soon, right?
Callista swears she saw a boat. We're trying to find it.
Is it under harbor?
It was at the end. There was like a fishing pole and there was like a string of fish. And then at the end of that one, there was a boat. Where were you?
It's under camping. It was maybe Misk Exterior?
Nope.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that?
Is that
Nine.
a boat?
I don't
That's
think that's
not
a boat.
Keep going,
Yeah.
keep going. All the way at the end. Is there one at the end?
Nope.
Oh, damn, it looked like
Darn.
a boat.
Hey, but there's your item for the raft. All those
Yeah.
logs tied together.
Right.
It looked like a boat. Treasure! Treasure, my favorite. Roll the bodies.
Yeah, you could totally use that section of tied up logs for a raft.
Skeletons, dead bodies. Don't have to roll those bodies. They're fine. They're just dead.
I might build a map for tonight's one shot,
Hey.
and we could use
Oh
this.
yeah. Do you have full players for that?
Let me check the Discord, and then we. No, we
I
don't
thought
have a
you-
lot of
But I
people
have this
on.
research paper.
Yeah, Scathos was on possibly, but he was tentative. But he's been
Yeah, because I got
it.
this research paper that I've been procrastinating on.
Yes, I can't imagine.
Got
what
Thulsa,
causing
me, Tusk,
procrastination.
Silas. I still have that
Mhm.
fifth spot open. No one's taken it. Scathos is tentative, and Thea is tentative.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Okay, cool.
Enigma. is
I
going.
wouldn't be able to make it because I've been procrastinating pretty hard this week.
Yeah, I
I
hear
just
you.
gotta figure out what type of character I want to make.
Not necessarily because it's hard, it's because for whatever reason my teacher is making it so that the final paper is on the same topic as another paper that we wrote. So I'm having not a hard time, but a little bit of a difficult time trying to find new words to say the same thing that I already wrote a ton about.
All right, so let's go ahead and bounce. I think there was a lot to digest. I think we're going to do a couple more chill sessions in the future where we build maps and get a little bit more slow-mo and build purposeful maps. And I'll probably do one next week for one of my one-shots that I do every other Thursday. We do One Shot Presents. If you're a Discord member, you hit the accept on the event, and you're live on Twitch having a good time. So we're going to raid somebody really quick before we bounce, so everybody hang out for a few. But otherwise, everyone, thanks for coming by. We appreciate it, and hope this helps. This is a pretty cool $25 tool. And we will be back later on tonight for the One Shot Presents at 6 o'clock West Coast time. So talk to you all later.
Bye.
Laters.
Chasing Tails.
That is a pretty great name.
Cool.
All right, and we're not live anymore.
Cool.
I have a great idea for you, Jason, with this with Tailspire. Just go full Bob Ross with it, where like you do different like map making courses, and they just follow along.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not a virtuoso when it comes to that, so it'll be a great way for me to practice as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a show for that, I can do a show